All right, we should be good to go now. OHG, how are you, my man?
Hello. I've been waiting for this.
I know, my man. It's been a little while in the making, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say didn't we meet like a month ago, like officially?
I think so. I think it's been probably about a month when I think about the timing of when we first started catching up. Yes, that's just absolutely flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we bonded over a love of Mortal Kombat.
Which is just incredible, isn't it? How quickly it just came out of nowhere, wasn't it? And it was quite interesting that I found your channel. Yeah, probably a little while ago. I actually found your channel after I saw some of your comments in Digital Clips's Discord, and I actually found your
Yeah.
YouTube channel, and I noticed some of your videos, and it was actually one of my other friends, another YouTuber, Daryl Sung. He actually put up a post on his channel talking about obviously your channel and said check him out. And I started taking a bit more notice, and here we are, man. Absolutely amazing to do this with you, OHG.
Yeah. Shout out to Daryl. Daryl, I love Daryl. I've been a fan of Daryl's channel since I first saw his channel. He was doing videos on his arcade one up. That's how long it's been. Um, but yeah, it's been a nice Friday. I'm looking forward to talking about the journey so far.
Absolutely, my man. We've got so much to talk about. I mean, this stream is obviously quite special, as you know. We've talked a bit about this off the air, and we're going to talk about like everything, our journey from being a kid playing Mortal Kombat at an arcade to playing it at our homes to growing up, and for our love and appreciation of the game. Talking a little bit about Legacy Collection, which obviously is a bit of a controversial topic, and there might be a bit of divide in the chat, but let's see how that goes later. And we'll talk about YouTube. We'll talk about our love for other things as well, like NBA. NBA is a big one that we're going to be having to talk about as well today, which I'm really excited about.
Hell yes.
I just want to make sure everyone has moved over to the new stream as well, because I noticed that we've only got, I think at the moment, about five people on the stream, which is awesome to obviously get those people here. So I'm just going to quickly just jump into the old one and just make sure. Move over.
Fine. That's fine. I'm going to change up my lighting a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, my man.
I'm going to make it fit the ambiance. So you're going to hear me talk to my virtual assistant real quick.
You got it, man.
Echo, turn on standing lamp. Right, and where is the other app I'm looking for? Here we go. Since this is a badass stream, it deserves a badass moment, so I'm going to give it to you. So where is the app I'm looking for? There it is.
While you're doing that, I'll just shout out to the guys and girls in the chat. We've got Della already in the chat. How's it going, Della? We've got Siri Coma, my good mate from our arcade gaming, absolute legend. I know there was a fair few other people in the other chat as well. I saw Goku in there. I saw Blue in there. Brutalized was in there. We've got a whole bunch of people as well. And who's this? Have we got Meow DeLorean? G'day, Meow DeLorean. How are you? Della's obviously here, which is awesome. And I apologise everyone as well. We had a bit of technical difficulties connecting up the original stream. It kept coming up with an error saying could not sync with YouTube, so I had to create a new version. I've got Sammy here. Sammy Retro. He's my good friend Samito. G'day, brother. We've got Kisaroni here. Awesome. So many people here already, which is great. And hopefully we'll get a few more people as we kick off OHG.
Yeah, Meow DeLorean is a good friend of mine. I've got a story that I want to tell that I didn't get to talk to you about. So I'm gonna go a little bit off script if you don't mind.
OHG, This is a podcast, man. We're here to talk. We're here to talk all things, and if it means talking about off the script, I'm all for it, my man. I've got a lot of things I want to talk about as well, but I guess probably the most important thing OHG is talking about. Obviously, why we're here. I mean, you and I have said, we've talked earlier. We haven't been obviously working together for a very long time. We've only been collaborating, I guess, like in talking on our YouTube channels for probably about a month or so, maybe a little bit longer. But we talked about doing this special collaboration. One of the reasons, obviously, for you was you just hit 500 subscribers. I actually think you're up to, I think, 552, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw yesterday 552 subs. Is that right?
Yeah, 552 is the number. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. And it's amazing to see the growth that you've had in your channel so quickly as well. And obviously, I know. Goku Ren, who's another massive YouTuber, he said to you as well, put some shorts out. Shorts get views and shorts get subs. And I said the exact same thing to you. I said that's how my channel grew as well. And I put out a few shorts, and your channel growth is just unbelievable how quickly you can go. So obviously, first and foremost, OHG, massive congratulations from hitting 500 subscribers. It is an absolute massive feat to get to 500 subscribers. So I'm so proud of you, my man.
Thank you, sir. I had no idea that I was gonna get here, but shout out to you and Goku Ren for giving me the idea for the shorts, because they really have opened up the floodgates.
Yeah, look, it's funny you say this, right? Because when I first started YouTubing, like I'm still quite new to YouTube. When I think about it, like this channel I created obviously many years ago, but I never actually had any content. It was just for me to comment on people's channels and watch videos and all that stuff. But I only started posting YouTube videos about March last year, so I'm about a year and a half into my YouTube career. I wouldn't call it really career because I'm not really making any money, but it's more of a hobby and a passion project, really. But when I started off, I was only posting just normal videos, just standardized videos, and I had some success. Like I got I think 100 subscribers within I think about 2 or 3 months. So I was quite happy with that. But it took a long time to get that momentum and carry that momentum through. And then Goku obviously. Who's a mate of mine in Discord and obviously online fighting games. He said, make some shorts, and he goes, you wait to see it grow. And I think I'm about 5 subscribers away now from hitting 800. So I have slowed down a little bit lately. Just work and family life and all that kind of stuff is taking precedence. But I tell you, man, it's great to get that content out and you see your fan base start to grow. So. Good on you, OHG, for already hitting that milestone. And here's another 500. So let's get you to 1,000. All right?
Yeah. Like I said, I never envisioned myself getting here. Like just 3 weeks ago, I was at 250.
That's crazy, man, isn't it?
Like, what the hell? Like, this is a meteoric rise, and I'm not saying that it's gonna keep going this way, but I'm here for the ride as long as I can, and I'll ride this thing till the wheels fall off.
That's so good, man. Well, and hopefully as well, this collaboration that we're doing right now is the first of many as well. I know you and I have talked a lot about doing like some Fightcade and stuff, and we'll come talk about that a little bit later on as we talk about the online State of Legacy collection. But we're going to have to do some more streams, I reckon. We'll have to do some fighting streams and maybe some playthroughs. I would love, though, and I think we did talk a little bit about this recently after the Xbox showcase, was Gears of War E-Day. And man, I am so keen for you and I to do a full campaign playthrough, and we'll do it live. I reckon we should do it.
Dude, I would love it. I have another friend that wants to join in with me on one, so maybe I'll do one with you and one with him. But
how good's that?
We will definitely do it. Man,
I can't wait. But look, OHG, we've got so much to talk about. I know we've obviously got a finite amount of time today to do this, but let's talk about like all things Mortal Kombat. I mean, and probably the best place to start off with is about your history, OHG. I mean, you know, I'm not going to obviously, you know, hide the fact, you know, that you know, you've obviously had, I guess, a journey to get to where you are. You were born with, you know, cerebral palsy, but you have obviously used, you know, your position, and you've overcome, I guess, and I wouldn't say adversities. I'd say that you've lived your best life to get to where you are right now, and you are doing some absolutely amazing things, and I absolutely love the name of your channel as well. And that was one of the things that gravitated me, you know, towards you was, you know, OHG, one-handed gamer. I mean, there is not many people on this planet who can play a game with one hand. OHG, I want to hear about your story, man. Tell me about you. Tell me about your history and your background and what got you into gaming.
Well, the first thing to realize is that this channel didn't start as a Mortal Kombat channel. I initially started this, I started streaming during the pandemic. I was living in a long-term care facility, and I was going through a vicious cycle of eat, sleep, cry, repeat. Because I couldn't see friends, I couldn't see family outside of seeing them through a screen. And finally I said, no, I've got all this equipment. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be positive, and I'm gonna give people something that they can watch. And it started out as a accessibility channel because not enough of these game companies put the disabled even in their scope in terms of the demographics that they appeal to. So I wanted to spotlight that, and my first game that I tried to showcase was a game called Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I know that game.
And it's a great game, but From Software is a terrible company. I found an article that said that their CEO said accessibility has no place in games.
What the hell?
If you want an easy button, go somewhere else. And so I did. I built the channel on the back of Mortal Kombat. From that moment forward.
That is an incredibly powerful story, OHG. I mean, you think about where the world is, obviously, you know, now, but also where we were during COVID. I mean, I'm not going to start a debate about how COVID destroyed this world, but I think it's pretty apparent that there was a very dark time for a lot of people. But if you think about a company and a CEO saying that about, you know, we're not recognizing disabled people to play this game, or we're not going to help you play these games, like that to me is just the epitome of you know, bad sportsmanship and a poor company to deal with. And that's incredibly sad, and I'm really sorry to hear that, OHG.
Yeah, that's why I refused to play another From Software game. Like, I played a little bit of Elden Ring, and it was a little bit easier. But then I remembered what that guy said, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you by a stretch of means. So during COVID, you said that this is when you started doing your streaming. So what else were you doing at the time?
Well, I started writing a poetry book, which is also published.
Wow.
I actually self-published that on Amazon. I wish I had the link to give you, otherwise I'd tell you to put that in the chat too.
Yeah.
But I wrote the poems in that book. I did it all by myself. I was sitting and stewing in my own thoughts, so I figured, let me put pen to paper in that sense. And I came up with 10 pieces of poetry, and it's in a book that you can buy on Amazon. So, there was that. But prior to the streaming, let me go back a little bit before the dark times. So I had met with a developer from Activision in the 60s and 70s by the name of Daniel Kitchen. who has done games like Bart versus the Space Mutants. If you remember that game on the regular NES.
I do remember that game. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yes. Incredible and incredibly hard. But I had met with Dan. We had talked about my vision of, becoming a streamer, because I had tried the college route. Like I took a class called the Introduction to Game Design, and my turning point was when the instructor told me that I would hate video games. By the time I'm done, I said no, thank you, and I wheeled right out. So I met with Dan because Dan went to grammar school with my dad. And Dan hooked me up with a bunch of his friends, and they did an auction for me so that I could buy the equipment I needed to start streaming.
How amazing is that?
And with that, he also set up a GoFundMe, and Carrie Hoskins, who you would know as Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat 3, actually donated to the campaign.
Isn't that absolutely wonderful to hear? Kerry Hoskins she is an absolute gem, and she is a saint. She has gone through so much, I guess, adversity in her career and her personal life as well. And obviously Kerry, I mean, as you would know as well, both of her twin boys were born with cerebral palsy as well, and unfortunately one of her sons recently passed, which was incredibly sad to hear. But Kerry is such an advocate for, I guess, like this I guess, dealing with these kind of things as well, and she is such a massive contributor. Like, she contributes so much to the community as well. And she looks absolutely fantastic for her age as well. I will just say that too. But she is a beautiful person. And there's one stream that I watched of hers, not that long ago. It was about a year or so old, and it talked about her life, and she talked all about it, and it was just incredibly touching. But I can't believe she actually also did that for you, OHG. You are absolutely blessed to have that too, my friend.
And I always remember the note that she left on her donation. She said, "Keep going, Sonya Blade has your back," and I will always remember that.
How good is that?
The thing about Carrie is she loves the MK fans. Like, the MK fans, she's so supportive and fun, and so warming to the community. I've seen her meet with fans, and I've seen her interact with people, and I would love to have that sort of interaction with her.
It would be amazing if we could ever do that. Get Kerry and you to have a chat. You know, I know she is an incredibly busy person. Like, her career now is probably as big, if not bigger, than what it was in the 90s when she was doing the filming for, NBA Jam and MK3, and obviously some of the other games that she was in as well. But yeah, wow, unbelievable. Hey, you know what? You should try to contact her again. Send her a message. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you.
We are friends on Facebook, so that's also a thing that I do plan on reaching out to her. I did do interviews on my channel for a while, and I was this close to getting an interview with Lyndon Ashby.
Oh, wow, Johnny Cage.
But I think he forgot about me, so
I
am gonna try again sooner rather than later, because I want that interview with Lyndon. MK95 is one of my favorite movies of all time. You see the poster behind me.
I see it
on my right. So, I love that movie to death.
Let's talk about that movie, because we were we're roughly the same age, and Mortal Kombat 95 came out when we were children, and we were probably single digits in age when that movie came out, because it came out in 1995. So that's definitely telling you how old we are. We were single digits. But that movie that changed us, and I remember going to see that movie and I was traumatized, absolutely traumatized to see that movie. The part that actually scared me the most and hit me incredibly hard was the beginning when Liu Kang's dreaming of his brother Chan and Shang obviously fighting, and when Shang turns into like that, you know, skull, you know, decrepit looking face, and that hit me hard as a kid. Oh my god.
I can't say that I was ever traumatized by any part of it. I just remember, and shout out and R.I.P. to Kerry Tagawa. I just remember him commanding the screen every time he was on it, and man, I love that character. It's the first movie that I've ever loved a bad guy more than any of the good guys.
And obviously Carey is immortalized as Shang Tsung forever in that movie, and I agree, man. He played Shang Tsung perfectly, and it's interesting, right? Like that movie, it built such a massive cult following, obviously after it, and even like to this day now, like 31 years after the movie obviously was released, like it's still being talked about, and I've been fortunate enough to pre-order a copy of the 4K Ultra HD version as well. I think I get it in like the next week as well. I'm so excited to watch it.
I'm getting that too.
Oh man!
Even though the movies are on streaming services, I have to have it because I'm collecting things that aren't video games that are still related to Mortal Kombat. That's my next goal is to collect MK media that isn't video game based.
I was talking to my mate Van Damage. He's a really good Australian Mortal Kombat fighter as well, and he's a massive fan of digital media and obviously like physical media as well. And he collects 4K movies and all that kind of stuff. And he was telling me that the audio soundtrack for the new 4K re-release of Mortal Kombat used the Laserdisc version, the DTS track version on the Laserdisc. Now, Laserdisc wasn't a very popular format back in the 90s, if anyone remembers it. But I didn't even know that Mortal Kombat even came out on Laserdisc, and I want to go find one now, just for the collectability factor. Now, I'm sure it's probably going to cost an absolute fortune to hunt one of those down, but I've got the Mortal Kombat movie on the very first release of DVD. I do not have it on VHS anymore. I wore it out so much. It was just too grainy.
So did I. Yeah.
But I've got...
I think me and my dad, sorry to interrupt you, I think me and my dad went through 5 copies because I just kept watching the thing and watching it and watching it, and each time it just gave out.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't it? Yeah, that movie, man. It was it was phenomenal, and I grew up obviously watching that movie, and then Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out a couple of years later. I think it was 97, if I'm not mistaken, and I was quite young still, but. What I'll talk about obviously what it was for me at the time, and I want to hear your thoughts on this as well, OHG. But MK Annihilation for me was it was amazing. Like I couldn't believe how good it was, and I was like doing backflips in my lounge room and doing like high kicks and pretending I was Liu Kang or Jax and stuff with my metal arms. And I tell you that movie for me as a kid was just like amazing. And then you watch it now and you're like, well, that's maybe not so good, but it still has a special place in my heart.
Mimicker, I love you to death. I say that all the time, but there were too many things. Even when we're kids, there were too many characters shoved into the movie at the same time. Not enough screen time for vital characters, and you killed off Johnny Cage within 5 minutes. No, thank you. Like, come on. Like,
I don't think that was very well received. If it was Lyndon Ashby, and no, I can't remember obviously the actor's name. I've got a mental blank what his name is. But if Lyndon Ashby was killed off in 5 minutes, I think I would have been even more upset.
Well, that's why Lyndon didn't do it. I bet I've been watching recent interviews, and the reason that he didn't do it was the script wasn't that good, and he found out that they were gonna kill him off, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Yeah, I'm out.
You know,
Tap out.
but you know, I will say the one bright spot of that damn movie was Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn. I mean, when you think of somebody that looks the part, I mean, other than Martin Ford in Mortal Kombat 2, shout out to Martin Ford, who was an absolute menace. But before then, Brian Thompson was the guy.
Yeah,
You know,
and he was quite big as well, Brian Thompson in that movie. There was a few of his lines that were a little bit cheesy, like "and it was glorious," that was when he's talking to his dad or something like that. And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Well, I didn't realize that the person he was talking to that was his dad was also Shinnok.
Yeah, the Elder God. Yeah,
what? Like what?
what?
That's not any of the video games, but I will bring up another Brian Thompson gaffe in this movie, and I doubt you. I don't even know if you would recognize it, but there's a point in the movie where he's speaking, and his mouth is not moving. The man is speaking, and his mouth isn't moving, and you can see it underneath the mask. His chin's not moving.
Oh my God!
Like, what? And don't even get me started on "Too Bad You Will Die."
Oh, well,
like,
let's come back and talk about that bit in a minute. But I don't know if you actually noticed in MK Annihilation that there was a scene where they killed Rain and Baraka, and they used the same scene from falling into the fire pit. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, that movie made Spawn look like an Academy Award winning film.
Oh my God!
Spawn was bad.
And you know what? Spawn came out, I think, in '97 as well, if I'm not mistaken, and I absolutely loved that movie. And that's telling you something as well. Like, as kids, we were so naive, and I guess we just gravitated to the visual effects of, at the time, it was all this CGI. It just, for us, it looked amazing. But you watch it now and you go, yeah, it's not so good, but that's so funny, OHG.
And just answer me one question. Why on earth was Michael Jai White never Jax other than in a stupid web series? Like, come on.
Oh my God, that's so funny. But no, you're oh man.
He's perfect.
He would have been perfect actually for it as well. I don't know if he was ever potentially cast as it or not, or maybe auditioned for it, but maybe he was demanding too much money at the time. Don't know.
Dude, perfect. And that would have erased the bad feelings of Spawn, like, because that movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, the storyline was a little bit questionable as well. But yeah,
bright spot. John Leguizamo was the clown. He was awesome.
He was awesome.
Other than that, no.
But going back to Sindel's introductory line, too bad you will die. After Katana says, "Mother, you're alive." That was like so funny. And but as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, she means business. Sindel, yeah. She's a bad bitch. It's quite funny, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the new movie, but they kind of did Sindel wrong. She was kind of reduced to like 10 minutes,
Yeah, look, I don't know if you want to talk about the new movies, and look, maybe that's a conversation for another day. But I do have my firm opinions on it, and Look, and I'm going to say this quite openly now, and if you want to talk, we can talk a couple of minutes about it. But the movie was okay, but that's all I'm going to say about it. It was okay. There was so many flaws in the movie. There were so many things that could have been done better. And I don't like where potentially it's going to go with this, necromancy with Quan Chi in the next movie, bringing back everyone from the dead. And I don't know what the hell they're going to do with it, but it kind of alludes to that fact in the movie. Sorry, spoiler alert for everyone who hasn't seen the movie, but I don't know. What do you think, OHG? What do you want to talk about that?
We have differing opinions. I went to the theater with my dad, and I walked out. I was clapping and kind of emotional because I feel like we finally got it right. I walked out genuinely feeling bad for Louis Tan's character because Louis Tan is a very talented martial artist, and for him to be thrown away like that in the fashion he was thrown away, it didn't sit well with me. So I hope we see Louis again. But also, I need to shout out Carl Urban as Johnny Cage because that man killed it.
Yeah.
And for any of those people that say, "Oh, Katana shouldn't have been the one to fight Shao Kahn," if you played the games, you would know the story. Play the damn games.
Yeah, play the damn games. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, look, probably the last thing I would say though is Carl Urban and Josh Lawson. I think they both carried that movie. That's my humble opinion. It was absolutely better than the first one. And I'll talk about the soft reboot. And you're right. I feel incredibly sad for Cole, even though he had no place in the movie. Like, and obviously understand that they tried to do like a new spin-off, obviously new character, new lineage with the blood of the Scorpion bloodline. Obviously, it didn't sit well with fans, and they tried to correct it in the movie, and they did it bloody brutally as well, I might say. But you're right. I actually legitimately felt sorry for him because the first movie was all about him, and this movie had nothing to do with him, and they tried to kill him off incredibly quick.
Well, it's not even really about the character. If you go on Louis Tan's Instagram and you see how hard this guy works, like I don't know how you let that go by. So I think if they give him a brand new character, that'll be doing him justice for sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they're going to go with it. Like, I mean, you could say he's probably like a Kenshi. He looks like Kenshi anyway, particularly from the newer games. But we don't know. We'll find out. I mean, they have said that there will be a third movie. It'll just obviously depend on where they want to go with it. But they've corrected some of the wrongs from the first movie. There were some absolutely hilarious bits in the movie too, like being an Australian myself. Josh Lawson's anecdotes through the whole movie and his funny one-liners it's just so Australian. Like, some of the things he's saying is exactly the things that we say here, and I'm just laughing my ass off in the movie theater, going, "You're absolute gold, Josh Lawson."
I mean, there's two more things I'll say. For me, the funniest one-liner was actually said by Liu Kang, and he goes, "Johnny will definitely die."
That bit was so funny.
When he's fighting Baraka, Johnny will definitely die. Well, the other thing I'll say is, I would be more than happy if they brought back Louis Tan as somebody like quietly angry, even Havoc, dude. I'd take Louis Tan as Havoc. He looks just like Havoc in Mortal Kombat 1 before his face gets melted off. But that's neither here nor there.
We're gonna have to reach out to Ed Boon and go, what's the plan, mate? Have you got any ideas?
I enjoyed the film. I've actually reached out to Ed. Ed's never responded to me on anything. I'd love to get a response from Ed about something because that's my Ed's an idol of mine, and I'm gonna talk about why I got into Mortal Kombat in this stream, and there's so much in that.
Well, I think it's a good segue, OHG. I mean, like, I'm really keen to hear about your introduction to Mortal Kombat from the 90s. When we were kids, talking about how you grew up and how the game influenced your life as well. I'm keen to hear what you say about this, and I want to tell you a little bit about my story as well. But OHG, take it away.
First of all, sorry we went on a movie tangent, guys. That was unintended. But yeah, I got into Mortal Kombat. I think when I first got into fighting games in general, the first one I ever saw was Street Fighter 2, and I would go with my mom to the bowling alley because she would have bowling league, and I wouldn't be bowling, but she'd give me a roll of quarters, and I would play the Street Fighter 2 machine. So that was my first exposure to fighting games. But then, as whenever I had a good week at school, I had two options. The first option was to go to our local arcade, and the second option was for me to rent a game from our local video store, which was either Blockbuster, Palmer Video, or whatever it may be, right? So I would always choose the arcade because the sights and the sounds when you're a young kid, it's like Disneyland for nerds. But on this particular day, I wasted all my quarters on Street Fighter 2. And as we're leaving, I see this bright red arcade cabinet with a man doing a jump kick down the bottom of the side. That's Daniel Pacino, for those that don't know.
Yes.
And I'm watching what's going on the screen. Now, this is just the attract mode. But I'm seeing these big sprites, and I'm seeing all this blood flying, and I'm scared, but I'm also intrigued. So, on that day, we leave, and the next week we come back, and I waste all my quarters on the MK machine. Now, I'm not fast enough to do any of the fatalities on the arcade machine, because I've got one hand, and I'm just smashing buttons at this point, because I really don't know anything, right? So, I got my dad standing behind me, holding me up to the machine, while I'm mashing the buttons like a madman, and the machine kicks my ass. And then I see this kid come through, and I'm watching it, and I finally see, I think it's the heart rip that I saw first. Everybody saw the spine rip first, but I saw the heart rip first. And I'm just like, I'm shell-shocked, because I had no idea what I was looking at. And, again, was traumatized, but I was still intrigued. And about a couple months later, it came home to home consoles. I had a Sega Genesis. Growing up, I was one of the lucky ones. And I would go to my neighbors to play it. And my mom didn't want me playing violent video games back then, and she'd always give me the talk about, now don't you go playing Mortal Kombat at Bob's house. Bob was our neighbor, and I said, of course not, Mom, but of course I played Mortal Kombat.
Of course, it's natural. It was inevitable, right?
Yeah, and I borrowed the game so much that they just gave me their copy. And I still have the blood code ingrained in my mind. 36 years later, something like that.
Isn't that incredible?
ABAC ABB for those that don't know. But yeah, but also Mortal Kombat has gotten me through some really, really rough patches. So I'll let you ask the question if you want to ask it.
Yeah, I'm definitely keen to hear this. It's and I know we're going to talk a little bit about the good and the bad about the MK community in a minute, but I am definitely keen to hear about your experiences with this.
This is the reason why I'm magnetized to Mortal Kombat. My mother had some substance abuse issues, I'll say that, and I got the brunt of the abuse. So I would run into my room and play the nearest thing that I could find, which by and large was Mortal Kombat. And I just remember losing myself in the game for hours and hours and hours. And it saved. I joke about it, but it's the truth. It saved my life on multiple occasions. And even going forward a little bit, even during COVID, the game I played the most was Mortal Kombat 11. That game got me through so much. So Mortal Kombat is literally ingrained in this man's soul right here.
It's in your DNA, isn't it? Isn't it incredible? And you know, it's so not interesting. That's probably not the right way to say it, but it's so like familiar as well. And you know, my life, you know, was very early Mortal Kombat, very early playing video games. Like I played predominantly Mortal Kombat 2. That's what I predominantly played, and I had Mortal Kombat 2 on my Game Boy. Played it every day. Whenever we went on a road trip, Mortal Kombat 2. Got home, played Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis for you guys. And after school, going to a friend's house, playing, you know, MK3, UMK3, going to the arcade and playing it. And you know, for some reason, like Mortal Kombat, like even for me now, has been probably more in my life over the last, you know, year or two than it has ever been. But it's kind of followed me through my whole life. And I've, you know, and I know we're going to talk about it probably more in just a moment, about like some of the good things and the bad things, but the Mortal Kombat community, and you got to say it with a K, not a C, of course. The Mortal Kombat community is there are some incredible people in this, and you know, the friendships that we've built about a game is just you can't. I don't think you can match it, to be honest. Like they say there's a Street Fighter community, but I don't think it's like this. I don't think it's like the MK community that we've got OHG.
No, there's nothing like the Mortal Kombat community. And I just turned on my PlayStation because I just wanted to get some information for you. I have been. I'll tell you the games I have the most hours in. Mortal Kombat 1, the latest one, I have 859.
Oh my God.
869 hours into. Okay, so I'm gonna just real quickly go to Mortal Kombat 11 just to show you how much time I put into that. 1 second. I put over 2,000 hours into that. That's 2 years of playing nothing but that because of the COVID era. When I tell you that this game literally means the world to me, like I bought the Legacy Collection 5 times.
Yeah, wow.
I just did. I just did. I bought the collection 5 times, and the 5th time it was my fault. I bent my damn steelbook, and I had some OCD, so I had to replace the steelbook. And I wasn't just buying a damn case. If I was gonna buy it, I was buying the whole thing over again.
Yeah. Look, let's talk Legacy Collection. And I know we've got a lot to talk about, you know, more about MK, but Legacy Collection is probably where we need to, I guess, focus on some of the good and some of the bad, obviously, from it. And Legacy Collection was one of the reasons you and I started talking, and obviously your channel as well. Very, very important, I guess, defining moment in our lives, right? And like Legacy Collection for me is like, so I'm similar, but I not as many copies as you, but I've got it twice. I've got it on the Xbox and on PC. And when I heard Legacy Collection was coming out, I was instantly hooked. I was thinking, this is going to be it, like a definitive collection of the Mortal Kombat games from console to arcade in one place. I still own it, obviously, but it's on my my Xbox 360 is the Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection, which was the three versions from the arcade, MK1, 2, and UMK3. That game, for me, was a little bit hit and miss, but I still loved it. Like, I still loved playing it. Never played online, which was interesting. I was probably a bit too scared to play online at that time. I was more of a COD player online, but I wasn't very good at it. But Legacy Collection, there was this incredible hype behind it, and I think for a lot of people as well, there was a lot of, I guess, like a lot of criticism early on about like what games were going to be included, like were they going to have different versions, and then obviously when it came out there was a bit of topic about that. But I'm keen to hear, I guess, like your thoughts on the initial part of Legacy Collection OHG, and then let's talk a little bit more about, I guess, the online state and the community attached to Legacy Collection.
Oh, brother, do I have thoughts? We could have just done a podcast on this.
I'm just getting comfortable because I'm so keen to talk about this.
So when I found out about the collection, I was living in my grandmother's house because I had to leave the group home I was at because of an emergency. They weren't doing right by me, so I had to leave. But when I saw the announcement, my dad was talking to me about something, and I'm like, yeah. And then I heard a voice, and it sounded like John Tobias. And then I saw the writing. Not even the arcade cabinets yet, because they showed that in the trailer too. But I saw the writing style, and I'm like, well, fuck, is this it? Like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Finally, I saw the arcade cabinet, the side of the arcade cabinet. I'm just like, oh my god! And I'm not gonna lie to you. I shed some tears. As a 37-year-old man, I shed some tears because we had wondered if we were ever gonna see these games again. Because again, the last time they were released were on the arcade collection, and I had to tell you, it wasn't that good. I mean, it was okay, but the AI would beat the hell out of me mercilessly, and I didn't want to play it anymore. And I didn't have access to a PS3, so I couldn't get access to it anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So to know that these games were coming out, it was jaw-dropping to me. My dad wondered why I was tearing up, and I pointed at the screen. He saw it and kind of gave me this side eye, like you're a nerd look, and that was that. But I'm with you. To have all these games in one collection, that it's the be-all end-all for me.
And I agree. And like, I know we're going to talk about it in a moment. We're going to talk about the good and the bad about Legacy Collection. But one of the things, like, and I think people forget about this as well. And I know that was probably a little bit lackluster when you play it because there wasn't, I guess, a lot of differences. But this game brought us a playable version of WaveNet. Now, for anyone who was like a UMK3 fan, as I was a huge UMK3 fan for pretty much my entire life. We had heard about it, and I remember in the 90s, I think it was about like 96 or 97, if I remember correctly, there was a video game magazine I used to read, and I remember hearing about it saying this is coming soon, this WaveNet version where you could play at an arcade play physically online using like a T1 internet connection to other people playing the game. Now, we never got it in Australia, right? We never actually got that physical version, but it was obviously out in a couple of places in America. But we got a playable version, of the game, and that's never been done, obviously, before. So they got a copy of the ROM, obviously, for it, and then they ported it through to the through the emulator that they built for Legacy Collection. So that in itself, I think, was massive. to have a very playable version of the game. And granted, like the game itself is probably not in a competitive sense probably where it needed to be. There were some things obviously that they changed with WaveNet to address some of the I guess like the exploits in the game. And I wouldn't call them cheating. It's definitely not a cheat when you say you're doing an infinite in the game, because the game was built in such a way that people found loopholes in it. And I'm all for it because they're bloody hard to do. But the game obviously tried to address some of those things as well, which I thought was hilarious when you hear the whistle and saying no cheating or things like that down the bottom. But that was massive to get that. Do you agree?
Yes, I do like the inclusion of WaveNet, but for me, the biggest inclusion that I never got to play growing up was the 32X version of Mortal Kombat 2. Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Because the 32X was very, I guess, very unpopular, so to speak. I think they only sold a couple of 100,000 units around the world. And I remember my mate's dad having the Tower of Power. He had the Mega CD. He had the 32X on top. And as a kid, you were like, oh my god, he didn't have the 32X version of Mortal Kombat. So the very first time I played it was on Legacy Collection, and arguably it's probably the best version that they've got besides the arcade version.
Well, I really like the Super Nintendo version too. Don't get me wrong. I think the Super Nintendo version might be my favorite version of it, but the 32X, due to the fact that I never had any experience with it before this collection, I'd say it's a cool one for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, another cool one, and believe me, I just discovered this. I didn't realize how much fun the Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition, on
the Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy Advance, I didn't realize how fun that was.
Oh man, I never played it. I never played that version. But I played it obviously on Legacy Collection, but never played it. And I watched you play it the other day on your stream, and I was just laughing my head off, thinking like, but at the time, the graphics, I mean, even like quite impressive on a 32-bit handheld console, and it had that kind of 3D graphics. Was quite impressive actually when you think about it.
And I mean, not only that, but you have damn near access to all the moves that you did in the 3D versions. Like, that's unprecedented.
Yeah,
I've never seen that, and I've never had the opportunity to play on a Game Boy Advance, so I quite enjoy that. But you'll never catch me enjoying Mythologies of Special Forces.
Now, I want to talk about that in just a moment. Like, I just want to address one thing very quickly, but I'm very keen to talk about mythologies and special forces because it's a bit of a touchy subject, particularly in the MK community, because it's quite different games. But one of the things with Legacy Collection that I was actually quite impressed with. Now, I wouldn't call myself a very high level, MK player. I was not very good at playing the CPU. I didn't really fully understand the exploits, except for Mortal Kombat 2. I kind of got the gist of that very early on. But one of the things I absolutely loved what they did with the game was they introduced the change in AI difficulty, so you can actually drop it all the way down to basically like an idiot CPU, because that game, especially Mortal Kombat 2, had one of the most difficult AIs in gaming history. Like, that game was designed to make you bankrupt. And as a kid playing that game on an arcade, I spent so much money, and I think I got 2 or 3 characters in, and I never got further. Never finished the game as a kid. I couldn't believe like how hard the game was.
Now, I'm gonna look into the camera. I'm gonna look directly into the camera. I told you about this before we got on the air. I'm gonna look directly in the camera, and I want to talk to Digital Eclipse right now. I love the fixed AI. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I was able to beat Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 1, no problem. But when I try to do a one-handed playthrough of Mortal Kombat 4, and the fixed AI is at difficulty 0, why am I still getting thrown around by freaking Jarek?
Because Jarek's a prick. He is an absolute pain in the ass.
What? Like, fix your shit, man. Like,
Yeah, I
oh
know, man.
man,
I know, but look, but it helped us a lot of us out who wanted
yeah,
to play the game and finish it off. Obviously playing like as an adult, it's a bit easier now, and there's obviously plenty of tutorials online on how to beat the AI. Like you walk forward and you sweep, and they jump backwards, and you can just jump kick most of the characters, and
yeah, yeah,
it's pretty easy, right? But giving, particularly for like more of the casual audience, giving them the ability to take it back to the AI, like that game traumatized us as kids purely from not being able to beat it, incredibly hard. Even now playing, like on the the max difficulty, it's really hard. I'm not going to lie, and the game literally reads your inputs and it deliberately cheats. It actually has the mechanisms in there to throw you, even though you hit first. It is what it is. But I appreciate the fixed difficulty, and I've had a lot of fun just in the
yeah.
background beating the AI because I couldn't when I was a kid.
No, me too, man. I love the fact that I was finally able to beat MK2. MK2 was the one that gave me the most trouble on the arcade collection. And I beat it once and I never went back to it. Um, because MK2 was just balls hard. Pardon
Yeah.
my French. But you know, um,
So let's talk mythologies. Now, you've actually got a very funny story about mythologies, and
yes,
MK Mythologies is a very interesting game. When it came out, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken as well, I remember they were planning to do multiple releases of Mythologies. They were going to do like a Raiden version, and they were going to do a Scorpion version, and so on and so forth, which I don't think ever came to fruition or even past the design, the initial design concept after Mythologies. But I'm keen to hear this story because when you told me this, I think our fans deserve hearing this one because I was in tears thinking about this. So take it away, OHG. Tell us about your story.
okay, so sure. Um, so back in the day, I used to go to work with my dad because there wasn't anybody to really watch me while he did a shift at a pizzeria. Well, one day I forget whether we were going home or coming back or going to the pizzeria, but in the cab I saw this pair of sunglasses. They were black. They had neon green frames, and they were Armani sunglasses. And I grabbed them because no one was gonna claim them. It's a taxi cab. They're gone at that point. So I grabbed the glasses, and then when we go back home, a family friend comes over, notices me wearing the glasses, and he's like, "What do I have to do to get the glasses from you?" Because I'm 9 years old. I don't know the difference between a pair of Armani glasses or $5 pair you buy at Walmart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, um, I he's standing in front of me, and I see the commercial for Mythologies, which, if you remember correctly, I think Nine Inch Nails did the music for the commercial, and and the visuals were scary. Quan Chi was gritting his teeth, and like black stuff was running out, whatever. And I said, I want Mortal Kombat Mythologies. And like a week later, he comes over, hands me the copy of Mythologies, and I hand him the glasses.
Isn't that
Hindsight,
hilarious?
hindsight, people, I should have kept the fucking glasses.
Oh, I don't know, man. Mythologies. I would have taken the game, to be honest. At the time, you were young. You had no idea what the Sony was going to be worth, but you had a game that you could play over and over and over again. I mean, well, yeah, that would have been me, to be honest.
bro. I wanted the game to be good,
Yeah.
but why are you giving us a separate button to turn around? Like, why can't we turn around like normal?
That bit
Just,
killed me, man. The turning around.
just why? Why? And why are you making this a platformer? Like, why? It's not a Mortal Kombat is not a platformer. Like, and speaking about Carrie Hoskins, she played another character in that game. A character I never got to because I couldn't get past the second fucking level.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I still can't get past it. So even with the Legacy Collection helping me, it's still a lost cause.
It is such a hard game, man. Like I struggled to get past the Wind Temple. The Wind Temple was the hardest part for me in the game. And I never owned the game. I used to rent it from like Blockbuster or Video Easy, I think it was. I had a Nintendo 64, so I played it on that. And I loved the game. Like I thought it was great. You know, at the time, obviously, you know, when I was playing it, I thought it was a different. Like it was fun, and I enjoyed it. It was definitely very hard. The turning around part was the part that broke me. I just couldn't get it working. And but you know, I played it a few times now. I still haven't finished it. I've never finished the game. Even to this point now, but I might have to just try it one day and just try to finish the game. It's probably not going to work, but I'll give it a go.
But then Mimicker, you got guys like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Headlock Gaming.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure you have. But then you've got guys like him that swear by the game and can speed run the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I'm puzzled.
I don't get it either, man. But yeah, very interesting. And Special Forces was another one as well. So Special Forces, I think, was only on the PS1, if I'm not mistaken. I never played it. I only played it, obviously, on Legacy Collection, and I only played for about an hour. And I just thought, man, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like using jacks with guns and stuff and taking out these like random enemies that are just the same to the guy over and over again. It just didn't appeal to me.
Now I gotta be honest with you. I don't mind Special Forces. It reminds me of a game I played called Fighting Force. I don't know if you know what
I have heard Fighting Force is. Yep.
Fighting Force is an amazing game. And fun fact, that was actually supposed to be Streets of Rage 4, but they had to pivot at the very last minute and make their own game. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of Fighting Force with how it played, and it had the kind of top-down view for beating people up. So, I mean, Special Forces is not great, but it's not Mythology's bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Oh man, I know, and we've got so much to talk about like I guess like Legacy Collection, and you know we've talked obviously a lot about the games that are in there, and some of the things you know with the game you know still probably missing, but I'm really keen to probably talk to you, and I know we've got a lot of people in the chat at the moment, and a few people actually have asked some questions. We'll do a bit of a Q&A shortly as well. So if anyone does have any questions as well, please put them in the chat, and I'll be asking OHG some of these questions as well. So feel free to chuck them in there in the next few minutes. But I'm keen, OHG, to talk to you about I guess the good, the bad, and the ugly about you know the Legacy Collection and the online community attached to it. There's been a lot going along with this game. There's a Discord channel which obviously you're a part of, I'm a part of. I don't chat in it for different reasons, but there is some huge divide in the online community about Legacy Collection and generally you know Mortal Kombat as well. I'm really keen to hear from you about your thoughts you know into this and your experiences. Take it away, OHG.
Here's my thoughts. I play the damn thing every day. I play it unabashedly every single day. Okay? When I'm not streaming, I'm playing it. you brought me on here to talk about my experiences, but I'm also gonna call out the BS along the way too. But my experiences with MK Legacy Collection. You guys heard my story about going to arcades with my dad and playing the CPU. Now, back in the 90s, most people had the experience of going and playing side by side against their friends or against a random person just walking around the arcade, right? I never got that experience because I had a big ass wheelchair in the way, and when I was growing up, I think a lot of kids were thinking they were gonna catch things if they stood next to people in wheelchairs. So for me, like, this collection is giving me the experience I never got from playing these games when they were popular. And I'm forever grateful for Digital Eclipse, for Atari. I'm not gonna say I'm thankful for WB because I think they're kind of murdering Mortal Kombat in their own way. But I am thankful for Digital Eclipse and Atari and more importantly, NetherRealm Studios. Even though they're not listed on the splash screen at all, which is very, very odd to me. So that's the good for me.
Yeah.
And I think that video is the one that Daryl shared. And me talking about that same experience, getting to play people online in these games that I never got the chance to.
Yeah, and there's a lot I probably want to say, and I'm going to be very careful in how I say this because I have my opinions, obviously of certain people online as well, and I'm not going to say who they are or anything about their channels by any stretch of means, but everyone experiences things differently in this world, OHG. You've experienced Legacy Collection in such a profounding and touching way, which I find incredibly admirable. And one of the things that I've loved about, your channel and the great friendship that, you and I have built talking just about the game, in general, right? And that game has helped us do that. Legacy Collection has a special place in hearts for many, many people, and other people not so much. But one of the things that really annoys me, and I'm going to say it right now, grinds my gears, is there's a few people online who have the audacity to label people as, toxic positive when they're talking about a game. That's their experience, right? And how dare you say that they could be anything else? There's a few people and a few other YouTubers who have made other content, labeling people in such a way and criticizing them for not doing enough, to DE Digital Eclipse for, to fix the game up. Now, we know that the game has a bit of an egregious state with the online state of play, right? We're not going to sugarcoat it, right? We can't play online overseas. We know that. The game probably wasn't to the spec it needed to be, and they probably need to do a lot of work on it to fix it up. Now, they should have had that obviously in a position before the game came out. I don't think it's obviously going to get it fixed up. But they never, I guess, promised the community that the game was going to be, be able to be played perfectly across the world. They probably purchased an off-the-shelf GGPO rollback netcode for it and just plugged it in, and that's pretty much all they've done. They haven't done a lot of work in the background to, optimize it, right? But one of the things that really annoys me is that, yes, the game itself probably isn't where it needs to be, but it's enough for a lot of people, and a lot of people have got a lot out of it. And I really don't like hearing when people go online and criticize other people's channels or opinions for having their own opinion. Every single person is entitled to that.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off what you just said, I've made friends with a lot of YouTubers. I want to shout out Next Gen Nostalgia. I'm sure you know who Godly is.
He's a good man.
I want to shout him out because he straight up told me he doesn't he doesn't play it anymore. That's his prerogative. You know, it's his channel. I'm not going to say anything bad about him for not wanting to stream it. But he has said to me that he will still play it if someone invites him to a lobby. So, you know, Godly and I are friends. There are a couple of YouTubers that I really don't see eye to eye with. I'll just say one of them is closer to you in proximity than most. And another, look, there are a lot of rage baiters out there.
There are. Right? Yep. It's all for content, mate. And you know, a lot of these people say, you know, that they're doing enough in the community to, you know, address the issue. But mate, you're sitting behind a keyboard, and most of these are middle-aged men who are nothing better than a keyboard warrior. As simple as that. You know, if you're going to do something about it, bloody go to their doorstep and make change, because you're not going to do anything else besides that.
And I'd just like to point something out, because I went on an epic rant last night on my channel. Look, we've got so much in this collection. We've got, what, like 17, 18 games playable online. We've got, you know, a lore section, a music player, a 2.5 documentary on this collection. What are we upset about?
Yeah, I know.
What are we upset about?
You know,
like,
you're right, OHG. But the thing is, though, even if the game was in a perfect state, these people would still find ways to critique it and find issues with it. It's just in human nature for some of these people, and you know what? And that's fine. If they want to be like that, good on them. That's your little community. You can keep it, because I'm definitely not going to be part of that. And I will enjoy the game how I want to enjoy it, but I also want to engage with people who have a positive outlook on life. And if anyone labels me as toxic positive, I'm coming after you, because I don't give a shit about the community in that regard. Like I'm here to have a good time and talk about my experiences and my opinions, and talk to obviously people as well that I've got good friendships with. Anyone else that's got an opinion about it, that's fine. That's yours. You can keep it to yourself.
You know, I've been labeled as toxic positive. I have. But what else I was gonna say is, I was in, you know, a few months ago, I was in the Digital Eclipse Discord when it was still popping off every single day, and a gentleman came in and started threatening the developers' lives.
That's unacceptable.
Okay. Like, what are we doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
It's social media. We as humans now have unprecedented access to these developers, to, you know, creators, to voice actors, whatever it may be. And we have a responsibility to treat people the way we want to be treated. It's a video game, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, be upset that you paid $50. Guess what? We all did.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not the first, and it won't ever be the last, right? And it does suck. I'm not going to deny that, yes, I was disappointed that I can't play this game with my friends overseas, right? But, you know, to me, it is what it is. We're not going to be able to change it. And Digital Eclipse, for whatever reason now, is not going to, you know, to put any effort into fixing it up. So we just have to acknowledge that it is what it is. Simple as that.
Well, you see, I was in there the other day, and I asked the community manager, Char, the question, you know, is it dead? And she said they're gonna probably push out some minor fixes, but she doesn't know a timetable because they're working on, you know, Barbie and Toy Story, and we might laugh at that, but you know what? It's the job that they've been given to do, and they're getting paid for it. So, you know, we cannot rush them if their bosses are telling them to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we can be upset about it all we want. It ain't going to change anything.
It ain't going to change anything. And that's what I was saying earlier before, that when people are jumping on saying, you know, that they're making change, you know, they're going to Digital Eclipse's Discord and telling them how it is, like, you know, that's all you're doing. Yeah, we can all do that. There's nothing else going to be coming out of it. But all we just need to do is, as I guess like a community, is we should be working together, on the state of play and making sure that we are there to support each other. I mean, the divide in the community over a game is absolutely ridiculous. But put them aside though, OHG, there is some bloody good people in this community, and there's so many wonderful people that are just genuinely here to talk and have a good time and support each other. And you know what, have fun, have fun with your time. If it means playing on Fightcade versus playing on Legacy Collection, who cares? If it means jumping on MAME and playing 3v3 team combat, which I absolutely love doing with my Aussie mates, so be it. Like, yeah, MAME sometimes has issues playing online too, but it's still fun, and that's all it's about, right? It's having a good time. Yes, some we pay, some of them we don't, and yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, one of my favorite things to do right now is go sit by the pool in my apartment complex and take my Nintendo Switch down there and just play Legacy Collection while taking in some sunlight. That's the life for me right there, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
You're living your best life, man, and that's all that matters, dude.
When you talk about the good people in the community, I think of 4 people that are the 4 pillars of MK, and I can only hope to be in there at some point. My 4 pillars are Daryl Sung, Headlocked Gaming, a gentleman called Infected Jello, which I'm sure you've heard of him too, and Master Mel.
Yeah.
Those are my 4 pillars right now.
Yeah, and there's some really good people in those communities as well, and I love engaging, with the YouTube channels and just making friends. Like, I mean, how many people have we met, OHG, just online, talking on YouTube channels and building friendships? And it's all about that camaraderie as well. Even recently, a few of us YouTubers jumped into, I think we label it as the world's first ever all 4 corners of the earth UMK3 battle. We played UMK3 on the Sega Mega Drive, and it was Australia, obviously, where I am, Netherlands, where my good friend Astra Katana is, another person from Iraq, and Godly, obviously, from the USA. So we had all these people playing online together in a 2v2 UMK3 Sega Mega Drive, and we were having the time of our life. Like, the gameplay was terrible, but we had so much fun, and we were just streaming and just talking and just in a Discord chat, and that's what it's all about, man. It's just having a good time with your friends, nothing more than that.
Godly is literally one of the best people. I can think of people I've met playing in the MK community, and if Meowdalorian is still in here, I'm going to give a shout out to her right now. Her partner, I met her partner, Zach, a few years ago. Zach unfortunately passed away this past year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I met him playing Mortal Kombat 1, and I can't help but think, number one, he hated Mortal Kombat 1, but he let me talk about it all the time. But I think he would also dislike Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection for the online stuff. But he was just an all-around good dude, and he'd give me crap about it, but I would still play the games.
It's so good.
It's kind of like the relationship that you and Goku Ren have.
Yeah, Goku Ren's a funny one. He's him and I got a bit of a love-hate relationship, but you know what? We respect one another. We support each other's channels. He's a member on my channel. I'm a member on his channel. And it's good. It's a good friendship, I guess, so to speak, like where we collaborate together, we play games together. Yes, he gives me shit 24/7. I give him shit back as well on his chat, but you know what? It's all in good humor. I've got nothing against the dude. I actually respect him incredibly as well. But there's a lot of good people, out in the community, and they're the ones that we should be spending the time with, and not worrying about any of these other trolls. To be honest, it doesn't bother me. I don't subscribe to their channels. I ignore their channels deliberately, and I refuse to be part of their community as well. And yeah.
I'll admit I'm subscribed to one person, but I think I'm going to unsubscribe to them very shortly, because if it's not one thing, it's another about the Legacy Collection. But I'm not neither here nor there. But I will say there is one bad thing about the collection that I will talk about, is that you went with limited run for the collector's edition. That was a very bad move on the part of Digital Eclipse or Atari. I think it was more Atari than Digital Eclipse at that point. But when I ordered something from Limited Run, I ordered a physical copy of the collector's edition of Streets of Rage 4. I ordered it in 2020. It got to me in 2022 because my statue was stuck in customs.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, maybe not again, right? Like that's probably the end argument with Limited Run. There has been some issues, as you know. I personally have never ordered from them, but I have heard of very similar experiences as well. But now, OHG, I am mindful of the time as well, because I'm taking my family out to the movies this afternoon. We're going to go see Toy Story, and you can probably see my dog walking around in the background. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's just coming around for a visit. He's probably looking for something to eat. He's probably hungry. But OHG, I know we've talked so much about Mortal Kombat. We've talked so much about YouTube and getting to this point right now. But there was a very special thing that just happened in the last week or so. And I know you and I talk about this quite regularly, and is NBA, and NBA is very much ingrained in our lives as well. I've been a basketball fan since I was so young, and I know you have been too. And I love talking to you about NBA. But let's talk about the Knicks. I mean, what a miracle run this was.
What a magical season. First of all, every morning I get up and I watch First Take, which I'm sure you know is a show on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith and a panel of other people debating topics. And Stephen A. said the Knicks were going to the finals day one, and I said this man must be on something, because there's no way. There's so many good teams out there in the West, and blah blah blah. And then as you get into the playoffs, and they get the Hawks go up to a 2-1 lead.
Yep.
And then they just start running through teams, and I'm like, all right, they beat the Hawks. Oh shit, they swept the Sixers. Oh shit, they swept the Cavaliers. And then they got to the finals. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna beat the Spurs, right? There's no way they're gonna beat a 7'5" behemoth of a man. And yeah, they beat them.
Yeah, and convincingly as well. Like I'll add, like, granted the games were close, right? But one of the things, obviously, that, like, just watching the finals again, seeing how well New York played, was that they were down in 2 games. They were 29 points down in Game 3, right? And they pushed the Spurs. Oh, Game 4, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah.
That's right. They were 3-1 up in that game. They were 29 points down. And I think even in Game 1, they were down by 17 points, if I'm not mistaken, and they came back and won that as well. But the Spurs, they lacked that experience. They lacked that finals experience, right? And I'm not going to take it away from the Spurs. They're a brilliant team. They won 70 games this year. One of the best teams in the league, but arguably the best team in the league, right? They bet OKC, right? OKC also one of the best teams in the league. But just New York had that grit, and they wanted it, man. And I remember one of my friends said to me when obviously Spurs bet OKC and got into the finals with New York, he goes, "It's going to be a 4-0. It's going to be a clean sweep." And I said, don't count the Knicks, man. I said the finals are the finals. It's never written. And boy, I was so glad to tell him when the Knicks won, because he was gutted. And look, I like the Spurs as well. They're a good team. I'm not going to take it away from them, but seeing the Knicks win it for the first time in over 50 years, and when was the last time they were in the finals? It was like 99, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 26 years ago.
99, yep, 99.
And they got there and they did it, man. So good.
But even now, you watch sports networks and they're like, how good are the Knicks really? Like, they're still not getting respect, even though they lifted the trophy this season. Like, come on. Like, every excuse is, well, the Pacers didn't have Tyrese Halliburton. The Celtics only had Jason Tatum for half a season. So what? It doesn't make it any less real that the Knicks are holding a title.
Yep. And you know what? That's theirs, man. They won it. Jalen got MVP. So well deserved for him. Man, I was ecstatic watching it. And I think I sent you a photo of when I was at the pub at lunch break, actually, whilst I was at work watching Game 4 it was. And man, that place erupted when the Knicks won, because they were down and they caught back up, and then they won by a point. Man, it was electric. And the last time it felt that good watching the finals was probably 2014, when it was like Spurs and Cavs and stuff like that playing like that. They were electric finals, and this was just next level, man.
It was definitely magical. My dad was wearing his Walt Frazier jersey, and I was wearing my Jalen Brunson. Two different generations of New York point guards. It was just cool. It was cool.
So cool, man. But look, I do hope the Knicks have another great run, the next season as well. They've deserved this. They've got a big break ahead of them now. It's all just going to be, the off season, seeing where the trades land up, see who's going to land up in the teams, obviously with the NBA trades. Oh man, it's going to be a big season next year.
Yeah, it is. I know you wanted to do a quick Q&A and maybe a quick music. Where are we on the Q&A? Do we have any questions?
Let's have a quick look at the Q&A. I'll just see what we've got here. There's quite a lot of chat in here. I know Sammy asked a question earlier before about what's your favorite character in Mortal Kombat, and do you have a favorite fatality? I'm just having a quick read. Is there anything else here? Yeah, so Sammy said to you earlier, who is your favorite Mortal Kombat character, and what is your favorite fatality?
Okay. For the older games, I'm gonna go Johnny Cage. And it's two reasons. The first reason is Carl. The second reason is Urban. Whenever I nail the nut punch, it doesn't matter whether I win or lose the fight in the game. As long as I hit that move, I feel like I won the match, because it's so hard to hit. But lore-wise, I'm gonna say my favorite character is Scorpion. I know a lot of people will say that, but he's just freaking cool. He's a ninja version of Ghost Rider, for God's sake. Yeah, it's just cool to me, man.
Scorpion is cool, man.
It's so cool. I don't like what they did with him in Mortal Kombat 1, making him Sub-Zero's brother, but still the coolness of the character is still there. Yeah.
Goku Ren's in the chat, and he said to me, eat a spoonful of straight Vegemite. You know what? I'm going to bloody do it. If he's asking me to do it, I'll do it. I've got a Vegemite in my cupboard. Does anyone else have any issues with me eating a spoonful of Vegemite on a live stream? Because I'll do it.
Oh, God.
While we're waiting for a couple of people to comment on that OHG, one of my mates just said, "Goddamn nut punches." He and I have quite regular battles online with Mortal Kombat 2, and I love playing Johnny Cage and MK2. And as you and I have talked about before, a nut punch equals a round win anyway. It doesn't matter if you lose the round, you still won it. And I love bloody going for his nuts when I play Johnny Cage. I can tell he's angry. He's like, "You son of a bitch, you got me the nuts again."
Yeah.
All right, they're all saying do it. OHG, I'm going to put my headphones down for a minute. I'm going to go get my Vegemite, and then when I come back, we're going to do this, and then I'm going to talk to you about music, and I think we're going to have to wrap the stream up. So can you give me about 30 seconds, my man?
I will give you all the time you need.
I'll be back. Hang on.
What have y'all done to this man? You're going to make this man eat a spoonful of Vegemite on stream. Savages, I tell you. Savages.
All right. So everyone's saying do it. He goes, you are going to need to wrap it up, as you need to spend an hour trying to wash out the taste. No, I'll be fine. I eat Vegemite every day, Goku. Don't worry about that. What did Goku say? Imagine how different UMK3 would have been with the real new Johnny Cage, not the MK1, MK2 Johnny Cage and trilogy. I wonder if they'll do a skin for that in MK1. Put Carl Urban in there. Great, OHG. Thanks for great pleasure. Cool. All right. So Goku, Vegemite, the Australian bloodline. This is going to be good. I hope you enjoy this. I don't have actually much Vegemite left in here as well, so I'm going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. This is good. I think this might be actually like a world's first. We're talking Mortal Kombat, we're talking basketball, and I'm going to eat a spoonful of Vegemite on a live stream. Here we go.
I have to ask, what does Vegemite taste like? And I'm not taking any of the comments from Goku, because he'll always tell me it tastes like shit. And I'm not doubting it, but I have to know from an Aussie, what does it taste like?
So it's a salty, savoury type taste. It's quite interesting. It is strong, I'm not going to lie. Goku's probably laughing his ass out right now saying, "You're a fucking idiot," excuse my French. It's an acquired taste. It's a very dark, I don't even know if I can really describe it. It's like a dark tasting, savoury, salty spread. That's it. I'm going to need some water because my mouth is very salty, but I did it for you, Goku. So yeah.
I love it. I love the commitment.
I got to do it for the fans, right? What did he say? Your eyes watering a little bit there, Mimicker. No, I'm all right, man. I eat Vegemite toast all the time. It's quite nice, but it is strong. I'm not going to deny that. So eating a full spoonful of Vegemite.
The commitment, brother. The commitment. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief.
Well, OHG, probably to wrap things up in the stream, we're going to talk a little bit about music, and you and I are very similar taste in music as well. And my other good friend, Seri Koma, he's an online DJ. He's actually got a heavy metal stream this afternoon as well. I think it starts in about just under an hour's time. So I'm going to send a link to you as well, so you can listen to it after this stream as well. But tell me about your love of music, man. And I hear you're a metalhead like me as well.
I am, but it wasn't a simple path to get me there. When I was growing up, I was a massive Michael Jackson fan. I know some people give me the side eye for it because, very controversial figure. But the first time I was introduced to rock music was my dad. He came over to me as I was listening to Michael Jackson's Bad album in our tape deck, and I was wearing that tape out. Boy, I'll tell you that much. But he came over to me and calmly pulled the tape out and then put Led Zeppelin's Presence album in the CD player, and I found myself bopping to it. And ever since then, I've listened to like I listen to Led Zeppelin, of course, but ever since then, my musical taste has gotten a little bit heavier. Like, I'll tell you a quick story. My dad has this thing where whenever he goes to a funeral, he turns on the radio, and all of a sudden, "Stairway to Heaven" is on the radio like clockwork. It's kind of creepy, kind of eerie.
Because it just knows. Yeah.
But it happened to me when I went to my mother's wake, and I turned on the radio, but I heard Metallica's "Fade to Black" instead. And I'm just like, oh, first of all, who are these guys? Because I didn't know who Metallica was at that point. I was 13 years old. I had no idea who Metallica was. And from that moment on, I fell in love with Metallica's music. Ride the Lightning is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Such a good album, man.
But then, like, I would go to concerts and see all these other bands. Like, I saw Ghost open up for Iron Maiden. For God's sake, that was a great show. I've seen Slipknot twice. I've seen Lamb of God by accident 4 times.
So good.
I say by accident because I had no idea they were on the bill. But then they came out, all of a sudden they're out there. But yeah, I love metal. I love the brotherhood. It's all so great. It's all inclusive, and it's just so loving. It's crazy.
Couldn't agree more, man. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why you and I have made such a good friendship as well in such a short period of time, because we just share the same love interests. We talk Mortal Kombat, we talk NBA, we talk heavy metal music. And you're right, like all 3 of these like groups of people in the community for each of those, they all just get along, and like traditionally speaking, they all just they share the same love and the same interest. But metal music for me was like my life, man, as well. Like I grew up going to heavy metal concerts. A couple of my mates had bands. There was a bar that I used to go to called the Enigma Bar in Adelaide, South Australia, where I was originally from, and it was like one of those kind of back alley bars that you could fit maybe 100 people in there at a maximum, but we for some reason fit 500 in there at a heavy metal concert, getting punched in the face. And man, but I was having the time of my life. It was the nights were just so good, and I built some incredible friendships as well. But one thing you told me the other day, which brought me a bit of a tear to my eye, because I could just imagine how good you would have felt, was that you went to a concert and people were high-fiving you and celebrating you for being in that mosh pit in your wheelchair as well, listening to heavy metal as well. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that was the Slipknot show. So each time Slipknot has a show, they play "Spit It Out." And Corey Taylor, before the bridge happens, he asks the fans to get down on the ground. So I look around, and I'm saying to myself, okay, how do I do this? Because I'm going to look like an idiot if I'm not doing what they do. So I decided that I'm just going to give you a tiny demonstration.
Please do.
You can see me. So I'm going to back up as far as I can. So normally, you'd have to get face down on the ground. I had to tilt my chair back like this. I'm going to stop right there just so people don't think I'm falling. But once Corey said jump up like he usually does.
Yeah.
I'm down on the ground like this, and he's saying jump now. I have only a limited amount of speed to get myself up and down, so I'm doing it slow, but I'm getting up, and I look behind me, and I see all these people screaming and giving me 5 and giving me fist bump. One person was so drunk they actually gave me a hug. Like
Love it.
The metal brotherhood is so loving and so inclusive. It's kind of insane.
It's insane,
It's
man.
kind.
That's so good, and
It's
what
kind.
what a beautiful story that is as well, man. Like, you've embraced you've embraced your life, and you, as us told you time and time again, you're living your best life, and you're making everything count. And hearing a story like that is just so moving, as well. And I'm incredibly proud of you, OHG, and hearing stuff like that just, yeah, it warms my heart, my brother.
I'm doing my damn best. And before you go, there's two things I have to say. One, if you ask me to name a more toxic community than the MK community, it's Metallica fans. New Metallica fans hate old Metallica, and old Metallica fans don't like new Metallica. So I know what that's like, but I like all Metallica.
Yeah, man, that's amazing, dude. Hey, I know we're probably getting close to wrapping up the stream, but I do want to ask you probably one last thing. OHG is, what's the future look like for you, particularly with YouTube and keeping the gaming community alive. I mean, this is new for us as well. I've never done a cross-stream collaboration before, and obviously it's been an absolute honor, to talk with you today and do this. And I hope we can do it again, and hopefully next time we can get a couple more people involved, and we can do a bit more of a cross collab. But tell me what's next for you, man. I mean, your channel's on the up at the moment. You said you've grown 250 plus subscribers in a matter of months, which is just unbelievable. So what's next for you?
Well, look, I'll tell you what's next. The only thing I'm for sure about is I'm gonna keep playing the collection, because if there's one thing I learned from the rise, is that people are gonna come no matter what if they like you. And if you believe in something, stand on business. Like, I believed in this collection. I believed in it so hard.
Yeah.
But I will tell you guys honestly and truthfully, before 3 weeks ago, when I had the floodgates open, I was going to stop streaming and I was just going to do offline content. But due to the love that was shown to me by my community, Cult of Blue comes to mind. Della Smith, who was in here for a little bit, comes to mind. Due to the love that all those guys showed me, I realized I can't stop.
No,
So
you can't stop, man.
I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep believing in the Legacy Collection. Now, that's not to say I'm gonna play the Legacy Collection 100% of the time, because if you've watched one of my streams before, I usually play the collection for an hour and then I go on to something else. But as long as I'm having good lobbies and having good fun, I have no reason to stop playing the collection after an hour.
Yeah.
So if you were banking on seeing more collection, look no further than me.
I wouldn't have it any other way, man. And I will absolutely echo what you've just said as well. Like, you've got such amazing community now behind you, and you've got me for life, my friend. And I was just looking through the chat. We've had so many people here, talk about their appreciation of this stream, and so many people have already donated money to the stream as well. And as I promised to you as well, OHG, that any donations I receive today are going to go straight into your store. So I know that awesome Cult of Blue has already set up a new link in his Discord, in the Discord I should say, for Australian links for doing orders, and I'll be placing my order this afternoon with these proceedings as well. So massive shout out to every single one of you who donated today, and to everyone who's just joined in. Like, all of you are the reason why we're doing this. Like, we're not doing this for any other reason besides the love of the game and the love of the community. And couldn't thank you all more for doing this today with all of us. So thank you.
And Mimicker, before you go, I just have to look in the camera and and say this one more time because it deserves to be said. Thank you, Digital Eclipse, for the lovely collection you put forward. It's not perfect, but no game ever is perfect, and I challenge anyone to tell me a game that released in a good state, at least recently.
Yeah.
You know, every game has its problems. This game is no different. Thank you, Digital Eclipse, for the work you put forward.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And thank you as well, OHG, for doing this today. I mean, we've talked for nearly 2 hours, and it's been amazing to hear your story, celebrating you, celebrating your channel, celebrate your life as well. And you know, I'm so appreciative to have met you, and I look forward to doing this again, my friend. And yeah, huge thanks to you, huge thanks to both of our communities as well. And I think now we've got a bit of a joint community now. I've seen so many people in the chat saying they've subscribed to your channel, and seeing some of my friends now become your friends as well, and vice versa. I've met some of your amazing friends, and I'm glad to be part of your community as well.
And a couple more things before you go. I'm gonna be quick. Mimicker, you promised to say something before. You promised to do an impression for me before we went off the air, so I'm going to ask you to do that. But I'm going to do my sign off too. I'm OHG, and always remember that as long as you have 5 fingers and a belief in yourself, you can do whatever you set your mind to. Subscribe to me, buy the merch, do whatever you got to do. But we're going to have fun over here.
Good on you, OHG, and man, no one does it better than you, dude. Like your sign-offs are so much better than mine. But I promised you I'd do a Kano sign-off. I love Kano. I try to look like him. I do my hair up. Obviously, I'm wearing my hat at the moment, so my hair is probably not looking so great at the moment. But I do. Some people have said you look just like Kano in real life, but. I, as my wife will detest as well, she doesn't like me saying it, but I'll go, "Hello, baby. Did you miss me?" It's probably not as good as the real Kano, but I'll give it a bit more practice, maybe in the next time for the next stream. All right.
But then there's my favorite, motherfucker. I'm Kano.
Motherfucker, I'm Kano.
Yeah, exactly. From the newer ones, exactly. Listen, I love you guys. Thank you all for coming out and listen to me yap for 2 hours. I hope to see y'all in my stream, and I want to thank Mimicker for the lovely opportunity to come on his channel and yap for 2 hours.
No, thank you, OHG. Thank you so much to everyone again for this absolutely amazing stream. I'm going to sign off here. Looking forward to catching you all in the next one. And yeah, OHG, an absolute honor, my friend. And I look forward to seeing you in the next stream as well, my brother.
I'll be there tomorrow. Well, later today for you, I guess.
I'll see you soon, my friend. And thank you so much, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Oh boy.